Hi everyone, it's JG here with Earth-5D University, back for another teaching where you are the light, the path, and the way forward, friends. How's it going? I hope you all are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. It is not quite dark yet. I still have some light here in this room. And so I wanted to take a minute to come and speak about a few things that I think will help you on your journey to living a more 5D life. What I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight is an awesome topic from one of my very, very best friends. It's kind of come up in her reality, and I want to bring it to the channel too, is that how do we not give ourselves away? It comes up in my life too, right? How do we not give ourselves away to people, to situations, and energy that would like to take from us, right? Energy in its very best form is an even exchange. I give you something and you give me something in return. I work for this company, they give me a paycheck. I do this job and it makes me feel good, makes me feel rewarded. I help somebody and it gives me meaning in my life. I have this friend, I give her energy and they give me energy in return, right? But what happens when that isn't always the case? Or what happens when your life has been upside down and you've only been on the giving end and it's more difficult for you to be the receiver? How do you not give yourself away? How do you not overgive to a situation? So we get in these situations, guys, because we have a low self-esteem. Even the person that seems the most confident, there's parts of their life, there's parts of their childhood where they struggled, right? They suffered, and as a result, they might have low self-esteem. What does that mean? It means that you don't see your own value enough. You don't see what you are worth. One example in my life is, and there's so many, one example is when I was younger, I was overweight. I grew up, I'm now quite tall, right? But on the young side, I was not tall and I was not thin, right? And so that was tough for me because I was kind of like the chunky kid. And then I had so long of that identity of people seeing me that way that when I actually grew out of it and I grew up and I thinned out, I still had like kind of this low self-esteem about it. I didn't see my body as beautiful. Others kind of looked down on me for that aspect of me. When I did thin out and when I did get taller, people were like, wow, what happened to you, right? And they saw me in a new light. Did it hurt my self-esteem? Yes, because I still, to this day, struggle with body image, and like, what do I even look like? Sometimes it's hard for me to tell because I still see myself as that chubby kid, right? So what do you hold on to about yourself that makes you feel like you have low self-esteem? Another thing, and these are such simple things, but you would be so surprised how they stick to you. I remember when I lost like $5, like my mom gave me $5 for something, or I had $5, and I remember losing it in the car. We were gonna go buy something. I was gonna buy something with it. And I remember my mom, she was like, oh my God, you lost the $5? I lost it. It could have been on the floor, it could have been under the seat of the car, and that sort of stuck with me, guys. And so for a long time, I judged myself like, oh my God, I must be terrible with money, and it caused very uncomfortable feelings, and it caused me to have a low self-esteem in that department. And so you see how we get these points inside of us that bring us this low self-esteem, this sort of not seeing our value. Two things here, right? One is we have to be really aware of where we judge ourselves and where we see that we don't have value, right? Where we perceive ourselves having less value, right? And then it's up to us too to observe in our lives, in our everyday lives, how we give ourselves away to people and situations. So if you, for instance, feel like people are better than you, especially we do this in romance, right? We do this with a partner. Oh, they're better than me. We sometimes do this with a boss, right? Oh, they have some knowledge that I don't have. They have some access to information that I don't have. They paid more than me. right? Sometimes we do this with our friends. Oh, she's got this, he's got that. I must not be as good as them, right? I must not be as worthy as them. And so we have to stop it right now. And so that's the second thing, is we have to realize where we compromise ourselves by giving ourselves away, by putting someone else above us. There is not a man or woman or child, as much as we love them, that is above us in worth. This is a huge problem to an empath who sees and has compassion for other people who often have low self-esteem, right? Sometimes as an empath, I would just be like, oh, let them think they're better, right? I'll let that person win at this match or this game because I don't want to hurt their feelings by beating them. That was a scenario when I was younger of just, it was easier to let my brother just win a game than deal with his anger at me or for beating him or not being a good sport. So sometimes we just keep the peace, or as an employee, right? I'll just take on that new aspect of my job. I'm not gonna ask for more money. You know, they value me, they value me by giving me this work, but I'm not gonna rock the boat. I don't deserve more money, right? So watch yourself here, guys, and watch where you have lower self-esteem from a childhood wound, and look at how that correlates to something in your life where you may possibly be giving yourself away, where you may possibly be putting yourself beneath somebody, right, or something. So no matter who your boss is, they're not more important than you. No matter who your partner is. So with a partner, oh, they're so beautiful, they make me feel so happy, right? They're just, to be in their presence, right? At the same time, it's up to you to make sure you're not just giving yourself away by constantly giving, because you don't see yourself as worthy of receiving. So the third piece of this, so the number one, look where the wound is. Number two, how's that playing out in your life where you maybe not seeing your own value and you're giving yourself away? And then the third thing is, if you feel like going to the third thing, is to course correct that. So one way to do that is by not obsessing about the situation. So for instance, let's say you meet someone new. You go on a date and you're like, oh my God, this guy is cute, or this girl is beautiful, and oh my God, da, 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 da. And how do I not get swept away into this connection? How do I not get lost? Or with the job, like there's all these people coming at me, asking me for things. How do I not lose myself and get swept away? And the way you do that is by, number one, staying in the present moment, what's happening right in front of you, right? Stay in the moment. Don't just give yourself away to the thoughts of that person, or what is my boss thinking, or you're projecting yourself out into some future that's not there yet. To be in the moment helps you to preoccupy your time, just being right in the moment, so you're not thinking about how you can give to get this thing, to hold on to this thing, right? You might be constantly trying to sell yourself, like, oh, I have to just give to this person, I have to give to this job, I have to think about what I need to do. They begin to consume you, right? So a trick is to stay in the present moment. Forget about thinking about that. It's not happening right now, right? It's not happening right now. Be in the present moment. Another thing you can do is just remember that if you're constantly giving, the output of giving, how can you receive, right? It's just like the heart expands and contracts and expands and contracts. It gives blood to your body, and then it contracts and it receives blood back in, right? How can you do that in your life? How can you also create space to receive? Expect to receive. It's another tool for you in your toolbox, is being in the present moment, not forecasting thoughts about how I have to prove myself to my career, how I have to prove myself to my family so they love me and appreciate me, how do I have to prove myself to this boyfriend or girlfriend, how do I have to prove myself to this boss, right? No. Think about, in this present moment, I'm just going to be doing what I need to do now. I'm going to be focused on what I need to focus on right now, and I'm going to let the universe give to me. I'm going to be open to receiving. So guys, these are some very basics to help you navigate what happens when you just want to give yourself away, right? You set your boundaries, you begin to understand and take responsibility as an adult that, hey, I am responsible for my own happiness. There's no one on this earth that's going to make me understand my worth. So therefore, I have to put myself and my value number one on the top rung. All right, friends, I hope that has assisted you. Sending you so much love and light. Take good care.